All right, welcome back to lesson 3. This was actually a topic recommended by one of the Discord members. So shout out to him. I don't remember his username, but he was from like the free general chat. So hopefully you're watching this, and hopefully this helps you out. But basically, when we're talking about stocks in play, or like how to pick stocks to actually trade, and this is actually a pretty important lesson because at the end of the day, you're only as good as the stocks you trade. And so if you're not trading a stock that's moving or doing anything or that has good volume, for example, even if you're a good trader, you could still end up, not performing as well as you could if you were trading the stocks that were moving or that did have volume. So the first thing I want to talk about is building a watch list. So building a watch list, this is important because it allows you to kind of get familiar with certain stocks. And as a beginner, this is important because it becomes easier to trade a certain name after you've traded it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times. Like, I probably traded pretty much all the names on here a lot of times. So that allows me to get familiar with them, to understand them better. And we're going to talk more about that later. But yeah, these are some of the stocks I would recommend. If you have a smaller account and you're trading options, you generally want to trade option contracts that are less than $1 or around that amount. And stocks that usually have those are AMD, Apple, Neo, Snap, MU, and Spike/QQQ. And you don't have to have these specifically in your watch list, but it's just some of the ones I recommend. I would recommend everybody have SPY and QQQ though, because those are, one of the most traded instruments in the whole market. So you can always count on them having volume. They have a lot of different strike prices. They have relatively cheap options, and you're pretty much always going to get filled on them. So you have no issue on that, and they respect levels really well. So for a beginner, they're pretty easy to I guess kind of understand and read. So I would definitely recommend SPY and QQQ. Also because they have options expiring Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so you can trade 0 TTE, which allows you to get higher percentage returns. So yeah, those are some of the good ones for small accounts. For larger accounts, you have like Tesla, SQ, Amazon, Coin. And when you have a large account, you can pretty much trade anything you want. You could even trade the ones for small account. So it doesn't really matter, but those are some of the ones that are more commonly traded for people with bigger accounts because they have options, in the $5 range, $10 range plus. But yeah, the main point I want to focus on is it's good to start building a watch list and constantly trading the same names. That way you familiarize yourself with those stocks. And on top of having a watch list of stocks that you constantly trade, you also want to trade whatever stocks are in play for that day or for that week. So even though AMD might be on your watch list and you're constantly trading it, some days it might not be as profitable to trade it because AMD is not always going to be giving the most opportunity out there. So you might have a watch list of 5 to 10 stocks that you constantly trade, but every once in a while you might add one or take one out because there's a stock that gets news, or it's just a good setup and you want to add it to your watch list. And the way you go about that is you want to look for certain things that makes the stock in play. So these are some of the things I look for stocks that are in play. And stocks in play, it basically means the stocks with the best opportunity for that day or a week. So stocks in plays are always going to have elevated relative volume. More people are going to be trading them. More people are going to be focusing on them, obviously. So they're going to have more volume. They typically have some sort of news. So whether that's a price target increase, they have delivery numbers or earnings, anything of that sort. If a stock has news, obviously more eyeballs are going to be on it. There's going to be more attention on it, and it's probably going to have more volume, opportunity, and volatility and all that stuff. Also gaps. Gaps are usually caused by something like news, so those kind of go hand in hand. But if there's gaps, there's a good chance a lot of people are going to be focusing on it, and it's going to have good opportunity. So you want to focus on stocks that have gaps. Option flow can sometimes tell you about potential moves. So if you see a lot of activity going on in the option flow, there's a lot of sweeps coming in, that tells you that stock is probably going to have a lot of opportunity in the short term. So you should probably focus on it. Breakout, so stocks that are prone to breakouts, like a stock like Tesla is known to go on crazy breakouts. A stock like Neo has gone in crazy breakouts. Recently, a stock like AMD has gone on a crazy breakout. Microsoft right now is going on a breakout. Netflix also had a breakout this week. So stocks that you know have previously had breakouts, those are stocks you want to add to your watch list or be watching them and be playing them if you think they're nearing a potential breakout. Stocks that are at all-time highs, you definitely want to be focusing on them. Like right now, Microsoft, it's at all-time highs and it had a crazy opportunity today on Friday. So those are stocks you want to watch because those are the strongest stocks, and you want to be trading. If you're playing to the long side, you want to be trading the strongest stocks, and whatever stocks at all-time high, they're obviously strong. You also want to be playing sector strength. So let's say today technology was strong, like Microsoft, Facebook was strong, Nvidia was strong today. Stock, if you know like a certain stock there is performing well, you want to be focusing on those. And yeah, those are some of the things you could look for to see what stocks are in play. Another thing that helps you find stocks that are in play is like social media. At least that's what I use. So you could use like stuff like Twitter, Discord, and StockTwits. Um, and a good one is the Discord. Most of you guys watching this are probably in the Discord. In the morning, a lot of the admins post like their watch list. That's a very good place to find what stocks are in play because they're going to be giving you guys, the watch list is obviously going to consist of stocks in play. So that's a good spot to find stocks in plays if you're kind of newer and you don't understand how to find stocks. That's a great place to find them. Also on Twitter, these are a list of people that you should follow if you kind of want to use Twitter to build a watch list. And a lot of these people post like their plays or potential plays. I wouldn't say take their plays, but if you see a lot of people talking about a certain stock, you might want to be focusing on it. Same with StockTwits, they have like a trending feature. If you see stocks trending on there, that's a good way. Like if the day's going slow and you don't know what to focus on, you could hop on there, and if you see a stock that's trending, you can maybe check it out, check out the chart. And I'm not just saying like if you see a stock trending, like throw your money into it. Like that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying like if a stock's trending, it's probably because it had news or because a lot of people are playing it, a lot of people are focusing on it. So try to find out why people are focusing on it, and if it's a good opportunity for you, then you could potentially make a play on it. But don't just see a stock that's trending and then throw your money into it for no reason. But that is a good way that I use to find stocks that are in play. So yeah, and some of these Twitter pages like this one, she tweets out like option flow. So if you don't want to pay because you have to pay to get like options flow, there's a bunch of Twitters that you could find that they like post it for free pretty much. So that's a good one to find. Unusual Wells also posts like options plays with like unusual activity. So those are good places to find that. And then I just recommend follow a couple of these if you want. They're usually tweeting about stocks, if they have news, if there's like good setups that they see, or like stocks that they're playing, their watch list. And that's a good way to kind of gauge what stocks are in play. Also, I forgot to put one, but what's their name? SMB Capital. They're on Twitter and on YouTube. They have a lot of good information on YouTube. You could also follow them. They post their stocks in play watch list every single morning, so that's a good place to start as well. And yeah, the thing I wanted to finish off on is stocks personality. So like we talked about in the beginning, the reason you want to have like a watch list of 5-10 stocks you trade constantly is because that way you get to familiarize yourself with that. And things that you should kind of like take note of when you're trading a stock is the ATR, which is the average true range. So pretty much how much you can expect the stock to move in any given day. And this is helpful because it helps you kind of like build price targets, because if a stock, on average tends to move about $5 a day, then if you're buying it at $100, you can expect your price target to be around $105, for example. So that's why it's good to look at average trading range. Time most active. So once you get to learn about a stock, you can kind of get a gauge for like when it's most active. So maybe it's in the morning, maybe the first hour of trading, that stock is super active, but after that it's dead. So you know that you don't want to be trading it after 7:30, okay, for example. Or maybe it's a stock that it's active pretty much the whole day. It's a stock that you can be scalping the whole day. So when a day's slower, you can just go ahead and scalp that one because it's active pretty much the whole day. Breakout. So if you know that stock has historically broken out a lot of times, you know that about that stock, and maybe you want to open some swings on it when it's been consolidating for a while, for example. Respect level. So certain stocks might respect levels really well, and other stocks might not respect levels really well. So you learn that over time as you trade the stock, and that's important because if a certain stock respects levels, then you want to base your trades off levels for that stock. But other stocks, they might not be as well for that, so it kind of changes the way you're going to trade that name. And like we talked about earlier, if it's an all-day mover, like one I've noticed is kind of an all-day mover is like a stock like Neo, Tesla, sometimes. Nvidia today was an all-day mover. Microsoft, I wouldn't say was an all-day mover today on Friday, but it did have a pretty nice run in the morning. So for that one, like the time most active for that one would be like that first hour of trading. So yeah, that's why it's important to trade the same names constantly so you could learn more about them, become comfortable trading them, and then it just gives you that much more of an edge because you're able to trade a certain stock more precisely. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you guys for this lesson. If you guys have any questions or topics you guys want me to cover in future lessons, just let me know on the Discord, just at me and let me know, and I'll try to cover that in the future because like this video was recommended by one of you guys. So yeah, hopefully the person that recommended it, hopefully you understand how to find stocks to trade a little bit better now. But yeah, that's about it. I'll leave you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys learned something. But it's been me, Zero. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
I say I love you, you say I love you too. Somehow it don't sound the same as when I say it to you. What's been going on? Can you tell me please? And I'm not trying to start a fight, I just wanna believe. Seems these days it gets quicker every time that you leave, but takes hours for you to come to me.